Rusty, how do you mix your Ure Seal? What dilution ratios do you use? This is a #1 question asked on the channel. Today I'm going to break it down very quickly. Simple video, you guys. No cuts, no editing. We are going to explain how to mix Ure Seal the most easily efficient way that will produce results every single time. So let's jump into it. We're just going to mix my material. I've got a job I'm spraying, so stay along for the ride to learn how to mix this and use it. You'll notice, you guys, once I open this bucket up, it is a 2-part sealer. So that means you're going to have 2 separated liquids in this container, one being part B and the other being part A. So before you put them together, if you're going to save material, do not mix these. Use measurements, go by thirds, go by halves, whatever you're planning to save. I know I'm going to use a full kit today, so I'm going to dump all of part B into part A. This is 4 gallons, this is 1 gallon, a combination of 5 gallons. So that's important to remember when we start mixing, because we're going to do a little bit of math. It's very simple and very digestible once you understand the process. I know when I first started, it was like, oh, I don't know how to mix it. What do I use to mix it? What ratios do I use? But let's make all of that clear in this video. Pop this sucker off because we're going to use the whole thing. So rather than using this little spout, which is very convenient if you're making half kits or quarter kits, that thing's very convenient, but to move things on much quicker, let's just plop all of this into part A. Now that this is dumped in here, you guys, we have a total bucket of 5 gallons. It is very important on this next step. Mix this before you start using water. There is chemicals in part A and part B that need to be combined before water is added. So make sure that this gets mixed, whether it's a full kit, half kit, part A and B is mixed before you actually add water to the material. I lied. I am going to edit this video because right now we're going to speed this process up. But before I do, I'm going to mix this for about a minute. This drill has seen better days, but boy, has it mixed a lot of material. This is stuck in there, so this is not a multi-purpose drill anymore. It is solely for mixing that sauce. Hang with me on this part, you guys. The dilution ratio we are doing is called a 2-to-1, and the reason it is a 2-to-1, it is 2 parts water, 1 part material. And when I say 1 part material, 1 part of that A and B mixture that we just made. So that's 1 part, water's 2 parts. This is a very safe method to use when you don't know which ratios to use, is a 2-to-1 ratio. So we do a lot of new pavers, we do a lot of very porous pavers, and 2-to-1 is a great mixture for that. We'll do 2 to 3 coats on this driveway, depending how it soaks it up, depending on the sheen. But with that said, you guys can go stronger at like a 1-to-1 dilution ratio, which is just 50-50. So 50% of that mixture we made, and then 50% water. If you want to do that on a top coat, that will bring you more sheen. The stronger you go, and you can't go too strong, 1-to-1 is about as strong as you can go. But with that said, that'll bring you more sheen, make those pavers pop a little more. But with 2 heavy coats or 2 to 3 heavy coats of 2-to-1, we kind of get the same thing with more joint stability, with more of that bonding agent that locks the sand in super tight. That's what I'm looking for in here, because these pavers soak up the material. I want a lot going in between the joints more than I want a lot resting on the top. So that's why we do 2-to-1. And if you're not sure where to start on a paver driveway, just do coats of 2-to-1 and you will most likely be happy and see that sheen, and the sand will be rock hard a few days later. But let's keep mixing the material. Since we're doing a 2-to-1, you guys, I have 2 buckets here from Home Depot, HDX buckets with measurements on the side. Gallons, liters, all we care about is the gallons. So if you divide 5 gallons into 3 ways, 3 buckets, you're gonna get 1.66 gallons. So I'm gonna put this up to 1.5 gallons plus a little more because it's 1.66. So I just go a little bit over 1.5 for each bucket, and that's gonna leave me 1.66 in this bucket as well. It would be a lot easier and digestible to say 1.5 for each bucket, but with the math down to the T is 1.66. So just right above the 1.5 gallon line, you guys. Now I have 3 buckets divided equally, giving me 3 buckets of a 2-to-1 ratio. Everything has 1.6, 1.6, 1.6, 1.6 times 3 equals 5. So now all I'm going to do is fill the rest up, one at a time. Spray. I'll fill one up with water, mix it, spray it, come back, do the same thing to the remaining 2 buckets. As long as you guys are using these on a job quickly, that is okay. But again, you cannot mix A and B and then save anything. This is got a pot life now that it's mixed of about 1 to 2 hours. Keep it out of the sun is a pro tip. I'm gonna put them in the shade while we're spraying the first bucket. But that's it, you guys. You now have 3 buckets of ready to spray material. And again, if I wanted to go stronger at a 1-to-1 ratio for that nice shiny top coat, I would just fill my bucket to a little over 3 gallons, 3 point, just a little bit over 3 gallons. We'll keep it simple and easy, and that would give me a 1-to-1. And if you want to do that on a top coat, that's totally normal. It's highly recommended, but it's case by case on how you're going to apply your material. If this video gave you any type of insight, any type of knowledge, please hit the thumbs up button. It shows YouTube that I'm pushing out good content, and drop a subscribe if you're in the pressure washing, paver sealing industry. Tons of cool content on here for you to check out. But as always, YouTube, much love, Wash Fam. I'll see you in that next video.